My name is Dennis Friend. I'm 100 years old. I was born in 1925 in Kent.
You remember the war well. You were involved in it. Let's, for a moment, talk about pre-Second World War. Do you remember what life was like in the build-up to the Second World War? Was there a sense of, was there a feeling that maybe war was coming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there was. I remember asking my dad about the First War because I wanted to know what was coming.
Yeah.
And when it did come, on September the 3rd, I was at my school. It was a Sunday, but I lived at Folkestone, and we had evacuees from London coming down, and they were arriving that day, and they asked the more senior people to come in and help guide them around.
Yeah.
And I lived near the school, so I went down there, and I remember we sat in the hall and listened to the Chamberlain saying we were at war with Germany.
Really? How did you feel in that moment?
A bit apprehensive, but we got so much with all these other kids coming down. We had to look after them.
Yeah.
That you didn't really have time to think about.
No, you were just focused on what you needed to do in that moment.
It became more when 1940, when the Germans really broke through. And living at Folkestone, you can go on the cliff top and you can see the French coast, you can see Calais.
Yeah.
And on a good day, you can see the clock on the town hall. I don't think you can tell the time, but,
No. No.
but I remember going up on the leads and looking over there and thinking, my God, there are Germans over there.
Yeah.
And I felt very apprehensive then.
Yeah.
And then after a few months, we were evacuated.
Right.
Our school went down to Wales
Oh yeah, okay.
and Merthyr Tydfil.
Then during the war, so you would have been in your teenage years, wouldn't you, for a large portion of it?
Yeah. When I left school, it was 1941.
Okay.
And I went to work in a bank, but because we lived at Folkestone, Folkestone was a prohibited area
Okay.
all along that coast, and there were no jobs there, so I had to move away.
Yeah.
So I had an aunt at Tunbridge Wells, and I went to live with her, and I worked in the bank in Tunbridge Wells. And because I wasn't under the strict control of my mother and father, I had a good time. I used to go to dance every night
Right, okay.
in a hall down the road. I learnt to jitterbug.
So life wasn't all scary during the war. You were still going out doing very normal
The
things.
scariest part I can remember, at Tunbridge Wells, we were in the flight path of the Germans coming over to bomb London.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we could hear them going over.
Yeah.
And people used to sit in the cupboard under the stairs, because that was, if a house was bombed, that bit was usually left
Yeah.
standing.
Yeah.
So they said that was the safest place.
Was there any air raid shelters near where you were living?
No.
No. So that was your...
I can't remember. I remember the air raid shelters after that time when I went to London. There's brick built. They were useless, really. They were just to give you some peace of mind. You could have a Morrison shelter, called a Morrison because he was the Home Secretary.
Okay.
And he dished out these tables. You had them in a room made of metal,
Yeah.
iron, and you could use it as a table, and then you could get underneath it when there was an air raid.
Right, okay.
And I used to think, if anything happened and the house collapsed, we'd be trapped.
Well, yeah.
Because nothing ever happened, because I'm still
You're
here.
still here, so you were okay. And then as the war progressed, as you got a bit older, you then were in the RAF, is that right?
Yes, I was in the bank at Tunbridge Wells, and I joined the ATC, Air Training Corps,
Okay.
which was, we had like RAF uniforms, and I concentrated on that rather than anything else. I know we used to march up and down the High Street
Plenty of training exercises.
on a Sunday.
Yeah. So what year was that then? Do you know the year that you went into that?
That would be 1941.
Okay. What were the bits that you remember the most clearly? Were it the later stages of the war, maybe 1944, 1945?
Yes, I went in the Air Force in 1944,
Okay.
just after D-Day.
Right, okay. So you remember D-Day?
So, yes, I was at Tunbridge Wells on D-Day,
Yeah.
and in the build-up to D-Day, the army brought all their tanks and lorries and parked them all around the town,
Wow.
all ready to go.
Yeah.
And one morning I went out to go to work, and they'd all gone. And
Just like that.
that's when I knew that the invasion had begun.
Yeah. Did you have an idea that it was going to happen before it did happen, or was it all very secretive?
We knew it was going to happen because they couldn't hide
And all these
all
tanks?
these things from us.
No.
But it happened during the night. They went down to Portsmouth that way,
Yeah.
and although they were parked just down the road from where I lived, 100 yards, I didn't hear them go.
No. Fast asleep.
I went to one of the war graves a long time ago to find my uncle's grave.
Right.
I did find it.
Was that the First or Second World War he
And
was
then
in?
First World War.
First, yeah.
And my mum had got details of the grave, so I was able to find it.
Yeah.
We got it from the War Graves Commission. I talked to, he was my uncle, but he was only a boy,
Oh, yeah.
really.
Do you know how old he
He
was?
was about 19.
Oh.
So I don't know much about what happened.
No.
But they didn't talk about it in front of me
No.
because I was only
Young.
a little child.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, of course we had our own war to
Yeah.
contend with.
Yeah. So you said your father, was he in the First World War as well?
My dad was in the Dover Patrol
Okay.
on a trawler, converted trawler,
Oh, yeah.
which were minesweepers,
Okay.
and they kept the channel clear,
Yeah.
a clear channel in the channel.
Yeah.
But he used to tell me stories about it. I used to lie in bed and he'd come and tell me a story, and not about the three bears or anything like that. He used to tell me about the war.
Oh, God.
And
Quite the bedtime story,
my
yeah.
mum used to grumble because it got me all excited. I was like,
Yeah. So, your father having been in the First World War, what did he think at the outbreak of the Second World War? It must have been, a lot of emotions must have been felt then to have actually lived through a world war and then to be experiencing another one.
I don't know what he thought about the war starting, but when it got going in 1940, May, when the Germans came, really invaded France.
Yeah.
And being at Folkestone, we could hear it going on. We could see the guns flashing.
Really?
You'd see all the smoke rising.
Gosh.
And it was quite frightening, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess if you're actually able to see it, it really doesn't feel that far away then, does it? Very close to home.
Yeah, you look over there, you can see the coast of France.
Yeah.
You can see Calais, and you used to think Germans are there.
Yeah.
And they used to come across the channel. Messerschmitts. At one time they'd come, just skim the top of the waves. So you didn't know they were coming. And suddenly they'd roar up over the cliff with their cannons going.
Yeah.
And I remember I got caught once, and I just managed to get into a bombed out garage, a showroom, and there were big concrete pillars left, and I remember standing and all the bullets going up the road, and when it was all over, I was like this.
Yeah, adrenaline.
But that soon passed. There was sort of an adrenaline rush after that.
Yeah, yeah. So then, the latter stages of the war, 1944, 1945, what were you doing then?
That's when I went in the Air Force. It was all over, really.
Yeah.
Just after D-Day. So, and I was training for air crew.
Yeah.
And the training was delayed a lot because they knew the war was going to end and they wouldn't want so many air crew.
I see, okay.
So we were put on other jobs.
Yeah.
You've seen pictures of a big map and people putting arrows out. I did that for a while.
Okay.
That was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And but there's a stage in radar before that where you call it a filter room, and you get all the plots from different radar stations, and you plot them on a map, and you could be three of you plotting the same aircraft from different radar stations.
Yeah.
And there'd be someone up in the next floor looking down, and they would look at the plots and average them out and pass that on to the ops room.
Right.
And that was, the war was over, really.
Do you remember VE Day?
I was at Biggin Hill,
Okay.
which was a Battle of Britain airfield.
Right.
But by then, it was just an ordinary airfield.
Was it?
Because there were no need for fighters and things.
No.
But, and I had an aunt lived not far from there. So on VE Day, I went down to her house because we had the day off. And we went along. She lived in a small town, Oxted, in Surrey. And we went along to the main area in the town where everybody gathered. And we danced in the street.
Did you? Quite the celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember the daughter of the people next door, she was the same age as me. She came and we were dancing for ages and ages there.
Quite the celebration on VE Day, quite the relief I'd imagine as well, knowing that you weren't going to have to actually go into Europe.
There was a sense of relief. There was also a sense of disappointment.
Was there?
That we weren't going to be involved. I said that to my dad.
Mm.
And he said, you shouldn't say that.
No.
You think we were all about 18, 19?
Yeah. Very young.
And all psyched up, really.